Holderby, and I am a senior theater management major from Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight for the UE Theater New Works Festival. This project serves as an important opportunity for our students to experience the New Works process through a virtual setting with guest directors and writers from across the country. At this time, I would like to ask you to turn off all cell phones and electronic devices, or at least the ones you're not using to view this performance. With this new way of seeing theater, I have some additional instructions for tonight's performance. Right now, your camera and microphone are turned off, and we ask that you keep it that way. This production is viewed best in the gallery view setting. To switch to gallery view, visit the right corner of your screen and click on the icon with the divided square. Next, we ask you to open the chat feature located at the bottom middle of your screen. Please note that the chat is for the exclusive use of the characters in the play, but we would love for you to follow along. Lastly, please hide non-video participants on your screen. To do this, go to your camera logo on the bottom, and you should see a little caret next to the camera. Press it, press video settings, and then check hide non-video participants. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, it looks like I'm getting a message from Diana that you are able to react in the chat. So never mind. You can feel free to react in the chat as you so wish. All right, well, we'd love for you to stay with us after the performance for a question and answer session. And thank you for joining us. And now please enjoy 1918, The Distance Between Us.
In 1918,
we were at war.
There was a global pandemic, the Spanish flu.
The severity of the Spanish flu kept people isolated at home.
But then, as now, people needed each other.
They wrote letters.
hundreds of thousands of letters.
And these letters are a record of a year unlike any other.
Hello, Ben.
Dear Emily.
Well, hey, Ma.
Dear Steve.
Dear Matthew.
Dear Jane.
My darling.
Father.
I am writing to you.
Writing to you.
I miss you.
I miss you.
The war is...
War is...
Hey there.
Hey there.
Flu comes calling.
January 11th, 1918. Happy birthday, Emily. Oh, to be dancing with you on this day. I miss you. I'm sorry this birthday wish came so late. This has been the longest month of my life. You better eat an extra piece of cake for me today, even if that means you have to go get another one. I would do anything to be with you right now. I hope you're handling all of this well, at least better than I am.
Hello, Mother and Father. I know it has been some time since I last wrote to you, and I apologize. Things here have been crazy, and I barely have enough time to sit down to write this letter. I hope you both and Mary are doing well. I hope the struggle of the flu hasn't caught up to you all.
Dear Steve, my God, people are stupid. I can't stand it anymore. Why? Wear their masks. People are going about their business as if the flu isn't happening. They have no basic understanding about how people get sick. There's just no common sense or thought put into it. It makes me angry. I wish they'd all just get sick. Survival of the fittest. Do they require you to wear a mask in the Navy? Do you feel like a pirate in the storybooks?
Ben. Hey, it's Andy. I guess you probably knew that from the front of the letter. Sorry, I don't write a whole lot. Things have been crazy since you left. All the guys who are still here at the plant miss you a lot. That union that we were getting into really took off since you left. I know it's only been a year, but I think we're really starting to make those bastards sweat. Apparently a couple of you military guys brought a disease back from wherever the hell too, because people have been getting sick like crazy. They're shutting down the theaters and dance halls. Not that I got the money to go anyways, but it's strange.
February 4th, 1918. Hello. I've been in France for a couple days now, but I haven't had the chance to sit down and write anything until now. I miss you. I walk around the camp and talk to the other soldiers, but I know that I should not be here. They give me looks. They let me know that I'm not supposed to be here. I can't run as fast, climb as fast, shoot as accurately as any of them. Although, if I were told that if I did do those things, that I could come home to you, then, well, I think I could best any of them. Even our captain. I can't stop thinking about playing the piano for you while you sing. I heard someone in the barracks playing the piano today, and it reminded me of you. He wasn't as good as me, by the way.
Dear John, I fear I shall die if I do not tell you. The window is open. I cannot breathe. I'm trying not to cry. I've cried too much these past 2 weeks. Today I received word that my fiancé is sick. A week before our wedding. I do not know if I can bear this news. I do not know if I can carry another grief so soon after losing you. I remember receiving your notes in the mail. Your penmanship was never good, but it only got worse when you were on that paddle ground. I spent more nights thinking of you than I did my husband-to-be. I wish I'd told you that before. I went to bed night after night feeling like a sinner just for thinking of you. I couldn't receive my fiancé's affection without wishing it came from you. I tried to convince myself that I'd made the right decision by choosing a man who had the means to stay home, and now I'm not so sure. If I was going to lose both of you, John, I would have chosen you every day, even if you were thousands of miles away.
February 28th, 1918. Dear Matthew, you will not believe what happened to me. I am afraid that by telling you, you will remember it forever. I too will as well, because I could not stop laughing at myself. So, as you know, mailing stamps have been running quite low in our household recently. And Mother told me that we could simply not afford them for at least 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I said. I could not wait 2 weeks without writing to you. I spent hours thinking of what to do, till one day I just found myself doing it. There I was yesterday in the post office bargaining with a man about stamps. I walked in with Al by my side and said, "Sir, if I can make you laugh within the next 5 minutes, then I should be rewarded with a package of stamps." The man agreed. Can you believe it? There I was doing the one step, singing "I'm Always Chasing Rainbows" and making Eleanor follow along. I even ended it with a handstand that went horribly wrong. To my surprise, it was a success and had the whole room laughing. I can hear you mocking me now. The embarrassment. But I'm a pack of stamps richer and deserve an engagement ring for the act I put on for you. I'm still laughing.
I don't even have time to think about how I feel anymore. I can tell you, though, that I am tired of this weather. Winter in Philadelphia is nothing compared to winter in France. And many of the nurses have had chilblains and frozen feet. Oh, Emily, it's horrible. I miss the sun. Although I don't think these uniforms in the sun would be a good match for each other. The doctors say they might let us get new ones soon. We're mid-war and I'm expected to keep these white trousers clean.
While my thoughts and eyes have been worried, you are all constantly on my mind. How's the bakery? Staying busy? How's Margaret? I hope she is doing well, and please, next time you see her, will you pass along that I'm still okay? And yes, Mother, the food here is nowhere close to as good as yours. You know I could go for some of that famous stew right about now.
Like back when the war started, we all agreed to take a pay cut in order to get ships out more quickly. And now that the war's wrapping up, our wages are going to stay the same. Jim says they're trying to plan a big strike. Says that the lumber workers might go in with us. I've taken a bigger role in the union since you left. Gotta keep up the family legacy, right? I wish it was still you back here, though. I don't want to fight in the stupid war over nothing either, but since when does having flat feet mean I can't fight? I build the damn ships just fine. I don't know.
I'm exhausted. These long hours have really taken a toll on me. And this past week, they asked if I would do dressings on the ward. I dread to think about looking at another wound. And they want me to keep dressing through the end of the month. I'm a little nervous about it all. I'm not sure how much I can handle at this point. This is not how I imagined my first year out of training would be, but anything to save lives. Trying to stay positive because I feel like that's the only way to make this work for me. I should rest. My sleep schedule has been especially out of sorts. Please give Mama a hug for me. Love you both.
And Father, no. Not much has changed in the war except tomorrow we're moving camp closer towards enemy lines. And the bad news is I've been placed in the first wave of soldiers to invade enemy territory. Please pray for me as I do for you. And for if this is to be my last letter, know that I love you and I will always be with you, by your side. And one day, we will be together again. I love you, and I hope to see you soon. Your son.
Now they're telling us we can't meet up and organize because of it, but I guess it's fine if we all still work together, right? It's the way these things always go. Anyways, my point is, we need you back here, Ben. Big things are happening. I can feel it. So don't die in the next few months, okay? I don't want to get sentimental, but we moved out here together and it feels wrong working here without you. Plus, who's going to bug everyone for union fees if you're lying dead in some muddy field in France? Sincerely, your much better looking brother, Andy.
Dear Matthew, there are no words to describe how happy I am to hear from you. You know how much it flatters me to read about how much I make you laugh. Things at home have been quite humorous lately. Yesterday, after classes, Catherine, Francis, and I were at our wits' end with boredom. It came to a point, Matthew, where Catherine started to count Francis's individual eyebrow hairs, which ended up casting her with a new name. Uni. Short for unibrow. She was absolutely furious at us, but we couldn't stop laughing. Tonight, we might play a new game called strip poker. I hope it's what I think it is. Oh, how I wish to hear your silly laugh in this very moment. Write to me as soon as you can, or else I will have to tell everyone about what happened to your uniform in your last letter. Lieutenant Green. I love you as deep as my heart will allow it.
Hey, Ma. Today was my birthday. I know you don't remember, but it's okay. It just feels like every old day. It's not the same down here in Texas anymore. I don't have anyone down here since you all moved up to Chicago. So it's been a pretty lonely 2 years now. My job at the steel mill is killing my back every day mass producing for this war. Now, a lot of the boys, they quit in the past few months to join the war thinking they would make a difference. But I know that with that old gun Pops had back in the day, I was no good with it. So I know I'd be no help. I hope you're doing okay without him.
March 7th, 1918. There's a women's suffrage event this weekend. I'm going to go. This is more important than homework. I'm not doing enough. I have conversations with people and tell them why women should have the right to vote, but I'm not shouting from rooftops. I'm not organizing events. I feel I could be doing so much more. I know it's ridiculous, but if I want to change the world, I need to do it myself. I can't rely on other people. If everyone were to sit idly by, nothing would get done. I might write to the president later this week. That would make a difference. Surely. I want to tell you everything that happens every day. I want to sit under gazebos and talk for hours and have our parents wonder why we're not home yet. I want the world to be at peace. Perhaps this really will be the war to end all wars, but it's hard for me to believe that. Call me cynical, but maybe the flu will kill all the horrible, stupid people. Wishful thinking?
I can hear you telling me to be fair to myself, so I will say that it is not my fault. They are the ones who drafted me, so if they don't want me, I can happily go home. If only that were the case. It is so weird to not know what's going on in your life. If you were to write me, however, that would make each day shine just a little more brightly. Unless that day is spent on the battlefield. No offense, but I don't think a letter can shine brighter than gunpowder. I feel very lost. I'd hate to break it to you, but I'm no doughboy. I was not made for the physical torture the military exists to put people through. I was made to say pretty words and become somewhat successful, die prematurely, and have word of my death bring my art popularity. So, if you'd like, before I'm blasted to kingdom come by a mortar, I could send you some poems, lyrics to songs or something. Honestly, I might do that even if you don't want me to. You are the only one I feel like I can share my art with. Here's a poem, just for you. These days have grown long, dark, and bleak, and the distance between us consumes all. I can't help but wish I wasn't so weak, so I could have ended this war before fall. I don't have much time left to write, but I promise I will have something of much more substance in my next letter. I miss you more than the targets I have to try to shoot every damn day.
It's so lonely here. Everything is starting to close down. And I'm trying to dream you back to life. Perhaps you are watching the movement of my hand, lingering near me, your arm draped around my shoulders. I have your picture in my locket. I wear it underneath my blouse. Do you remember that day that we met on the resort by the river? You dove in to retrieve my hat that the pesky wind had stolen. You soiled those new boots you'd been saving up for, all for the sake of my silly hat. I will never forget that gleam in your eyes. I used to think that your eyes were the sky. Now the sky doesn't seem worthy of them. The world wasn't worthy of you, John. Perhaps that's why I haven't called you home. If I left too, would you be up there waiting for me?
I hope Will is treating you well, being the younger brother and all. We both know he was always more the responsible one than I was. I miss you both, but I don't think I can take this anymore. Ella had an affair and she said it's been going on for a year now, and I just can't seem to understand why everyone is wanting to leave me. I mean, I'm sorry if I hurt you or Will, and I'm sorry for everything. But I pray we will see each other again in another life. I love you, Ma.
Things I took with me.
Things I took to war with me. All the letters I wrote to Margaret but wasn't confident enough to give her. A copy of 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird by Wallace Stevens, 1917. Photo of my family and this string bracelet my sister made for me before I left.
March 21st, 1918. Teddy, my boy. I have a secret to tell you. I know I put on a tough front when we said goodbye, but I was absolutely crushed to see you go. The world is not the same without you, darling. Little James keeps asking when you're coming back to play catch with him. I'm so glad you were a bit better. I know it was a tough go and we almost lost you. Were you devastated to leave the earth? And me? You are going to get so better out west. They're going to take excellent care of you, Teddy. You'll beat this flu yet. I made a plan for the next time we see each other. I know how much you love to watch the boats drift off into the sunset, and when you're well, you'll come to Philadelphia to see me, and I'll take you east to Fork River, and we can go to my favorite dock and watch the sails until they've disappeared.
Your mother wrote to me and told me that you were feeling kind of down. I know. This is a very hard time. It's frightening, and we don't know what's going to come of it. But I can tell you, here in the city, I've seen a lot of humanity. People are trying their hardest to help other people out. My friend's uncle got sick, and everyone in his town baked him something. He got so many baked goods, we think he won't ever go hungry. Also, something good for women. England gave them the vote. I'm sure the United States will be soon to follow. We're the little brother to England, copying everything they do. Tag-alongs. Tag along for this. Tomorrow we're going to do something exciting. We're going to be like the boys in the army, learn some of their drills and exercises, learn how to do a proper march like them. I'll show you how when I come home. I bet we'll be even better than the boys. It feels like it'll snow soon, so send me your plan for this year's igloo design.
Little! I got your letter, and over the past few days, it has brought me much joy in taking the stress-filled times we both are in. It has given me hope for the future and returning home. Remember the night out back when we found those fireworks in the garage and decided to light them off? And in doing so, we accidentally shot them into the side of the house. That moment of laughter and excitement from that night will forever be one of my favorite moments of us together. And now to that, whenever I see a bright flash in the sky or in the distance, all I can think of is you and coming home. I hope you are still living your life with all the kindness and joy you've always shown towards everyone. I hope you are well and that the boys at school haven't given you too much trouble.
April 3rd, 1918. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I saw that you're coming out here to work in the shipyard. I do a lot of stuff for the union, so I see the notices and hirings sometimes. I also saw that you were 17. I don't write a whole lot, and I'm not totally sure what compelled me to write this right now, but I guess I just wanted to say that if you need someone to lean on, come talk to me. I came over when I was about your age, and it's tough as nails. The days are long, the pay is crap, and you're coming at a difficult time with all the closures. The people out here are good. I can get you all squared up with the union when you arrive and answer any questions you have. Most of the guys hang out at a pool hall called the Brick after work, but all that's closed down right now, so it might be hard to make friends. Harder than usual, that is. If you need a place to stay, I got 2 beds, and one of them's empty right now, and I could use the help with the rent. I only have a bed available because my brother's off fighting the war, so the stay's got to be limited, but it's not a bad spot to be while you're looking for your own place. You're going to be just fine, kid. Stick with the union people and work hard. You're going to do great. It's a scary time to be out here, but there are a lot of good things on the horizon. You can feel it.
Lesson plan for Agatha. Monday, Shakespeare for 1 hour. 2 may not be bearable for her just yet. Something light. Midsummer. Piano for 1 hour. For Elise. Unless she's growing sick of it, perhaps something a bit more modern. Scientific articles, would she be interested? Tuesday. History in the morning with coffee. King Louis XIV of France should interest her. Some basic arithmetic. Avoid polynomials. No more than an hour should do. Reading. To cheer her up. Jane Eyre would be lovely. Wednesday. More Shakespeare. Perhaps a sonnet. Piano for 1 hour, continuing Monday's exercises. Discuss politics. Thursday, painting in the garden after tea time. If we can, sneak her out to the suffragette demonstration. The fresh air and the walk would do us some good. Friday, history, French Revolution. Discuss science articles if she has read them. Piano for 1 hour, watch her posture.
Saturday, May 18th, 1918. You know, today was just not my day. I had a long night fixing my roof because there was a leak and it was raining so bad. I overslept, I burnt my breakfast, and I missed the train going on to work. So I had to walk 2 hours to work just to find out it was Saturday and the mill is closed on Saturdays. So now it's just a 2-hour walk back. I'll make it home by 4, eat an early dinner, and just go straight on to bed. Lesson of the day is if the roof is leaking at 2 a.m., just grab a bucket and fix it in the morning. No need to lose sleep and a couple brain cells over it. I can't help but laugh at myself. I think I need to write out a schedule or something to keep track of my days.
June 5th, 1918. Anne, are you keeping up with the music lessons? Look, if you want to be anywhere near as good as Mom or I, then you need to be sure you are practicing at least 30 hours a week. I haven't been able to play in such a long time, which is why you need to be sure you are practicing at least 30 hours a week. If not for yourself, then for your poor brother who cannot live without music. Maybe if you play enough, I'll hear your Clair de Lune from here. Debussy can be a pain, but I promise the injury is quite worth it. Your handwriting will grow ugly, but your ears will be grateful for the finger's sacrifice. I promise I'll be able to tell if you've been slacking by how pretty your signature is. Perhaps you already know that. Perhaps that is the reason you haven't written me. Perhaps this will just make you more skeptical about contacting me. Well, do not fret, for it won't matter soon enough. I'll just assign you more piano drills to get back at you for ignoring me all this time. I wish I could show you how beautiful France is in the spring. I feel like the muses walk around in broad daylight here. In America, they can be so hard to find, but here, every corner inspires me with something glorious. It sure stinks that there isn't a piano here. If you ever miss me, look up at the sky and know that I am looking at that very sky, searching for a way to fly home to you. Or hug a tree and know that I am hugging one too. And through that tree, I'm hugging you.
I am blonde, and usually have my hair pulled back from my face because my mother says that is where my true beauty comes from. When mother's not looking, I sneak a red lip and let my hair fly free. I find freedom in this.
You know when you reach the point where even the smallest things make you feel like you're about to boil over? I'm there. Yesterday, Papa sent me 2 francs in the mail, which is just a little less than what I make in a week. And then I thought to myself, the male nurses make $18 more than me. Am I not their equal? And just never did I ever think receiving money in the mail would sink the ship, but it sank. And I've cried a million damn tears for the first time in 96 days. Oh, all I want to do is take a bath with hot water. And of course, there's a scarcity around these parts. I often forget I must take care of myself, in addition to the 50+ patients pleading for my assistance. It's difficult. Why is it so difficult? Oh, I wish I could bathe, Emily. I wish the war would end, that the whole thing would just come to a halt. I feel so lost. I don't feel I can do this on my own. I've reached the point where I give my left arm to sneak out and have a drink, even though I've spent the last couple of months mocking the men who do so. Oh, to feel just something. I am not very well, but that's all right.
Morning. 6:15, wake up and start to work out.
I must be hilariously bored, because today I caught myself marveling at the color of our uniforms. What a rugged green they've chosen. It screams, I am obedient.
7 o'clock, shower, brush teeth.
Journal entry, day number 2 fucking long. Today marks the 47th day of feeling insane. You know when you love something so much, but then so much time passes that you've completely forgot what it was? Well, that's exactly what happened today.
7:30, I'll grab some breakfast.
Notes on union meeting for July 15th, 1918. Arnold said we got to storm the city hall if we get the chance.
7:50, I'll leave for work.
Who in their right mind would want to wear such a drab color? This green, mind you, is not the color of the uniforms we wear into battle. Those are brown, which makes sense, because they blend in with the trenches. So why must I put on such a sad color? I think they ought to be yellow.
8 o'clock, I'll start work.
We were having dinner, and a new shipment of food came in. And so, of course, us newbies are the ones who have to pull everything out. And inside the crate, there was a little box labeled apples. Apples. And for a split second, I thought, what the hell is an apple?
At noon, I'll grab some lunch.
Greg said that we would be bringing everything to a halt anyways, and that there's no reason to do anything that would lose us public support. Bill said that the rest of the unions would be down for a general strike if they don't make good on our payment, or their promise to up our payments after the war. I asked how we were going to make sure everyone's okay during the strike.
1 o'clock, I'll get back to work.
I thought of the most beautiful melody today. It sounds like if someone took a block of marble and chiseled it away until only the statue of a person was left. And then that statue came to life and played a song to cheer me up.
And 4:30, I get to leave that hellhole. Ugh.
I couldn't believe I'd forgotten what an apple was. Mother always used to make the best apple pie. And even over the smells of the dirt and the gunpowder, that is all I could smell. I wish Mother were here right now. I know she'd laugh with me, but even though she's not, I know Tucker will. He always enjoys a good chance to laugh at me. But hey, right now, me too.
I am rotting! The food in France is so beautiful. So how is it that the food we get served at camp looks like it belongs in a trough rather than on a plate? Food is art, and these beef heads are spitting all over it. Absolute tragedy.
5 o'clock, I'll grab some dinner as well.
I heard a song in the street today that made me cry. Sounded like a gentle snow was rolling in. I marveled in its beauty, and then that gentle snow turned into a storm that I was hopelessly lost in. It froze me through. That storm that froze me through reminds me of you, or rather the lack of you.
5:30 to 9:30.
Henry said that the whole point was to show how necessary we are and that we shouldn't be trying to make sure everyone's okay. Greg said that we're trying to stick it to the bosses, not the regular people of Seattle. I suggested that if we're all off work anyway, we should provide food and other services since all businesses will be closed. We agreed to talk more about it when things become more clear.
And then 10:30, it's bedtime.
Greg says that if we're going to do this thing, that we have to make sure we maintain the public support. He says that the mayor and the bosses are going to say that we just want to watch the city burn. He said that we have to make sure we're only doing what we have to get our wages up and nothing else.
And then list of needs: soap, towels, a new jacket, and lots of toilet paper.
I watched grass grow today. Watching grass grow is very soldierly, I'd say. I felt like a general with all my little leaf blade privates saluting me. Perhaps, if I yell at them and call them names enough, they'll be able to end this war.
Bill agreed and said that we needed to show that a general strike was feasible in order to make bigger demands in the future. Arnold said that he'd go along with it, but that we have to remember that this is a rare opportunity and not to let our image get in the way of our movement. Meeting adjourned.
Tired of being alone.
Dear God, do you not answer prayers? Has my faith lied to me this whole time? I've been holding out for a sign that things will get better. Where is it? I'm not scared of the flu. I was a sickly child, a child afraid of everything, a child who didn't have friends because she worried she'd catch a cold from them and die. I am tired of living in fear. Death by disease cannot be worse than the pain in my heart. Have you had enough? God, I am waiting for you to save me. I am wishing, I have been praying. These are small problems for you. And I am such a small person. How can I carry this weight on my fragile bones? Or can I sleep for 100 years and wake up to a better tomorrow? When there is no flu, no war, and women can work and vote and wear no corset and no longer rely on a husband or a father or a brother to make their way? Or will 100 years later be exactly the same? Come, Lord. Come, judge the living and the dead. You've already forgotten me. I wouldn't be surprised if the rapture came and I was left alone on this wasteland. Oh, Father, I think I've earned the right to be cynical. I try to inspire Agatha. I don't believe half the things that I tell her. I miss John, but what would she think if I was gone? Would her whole view of the world unravel like an unfinished hem, leaving nothing but a pile of threads? Ah! Oh, I am insane! Writing letters to a dead man, writing letters to God, two men who will never write me back. always feel like? The river, the sun, an embrace. I've only known the arms of a lover once in my life. Was that my sin? When you took him and you killed him, was that my punishment? Someday, the world will see things differently. I am tired. Sincerely, your forgotten daughter.
August 7th, 1918. So I make 75 cents an hour. Hours are 8 to 4 for 44 hours a week. That's roughly $33 a week. And then it's $5.76 for a train ticket to Chicago, but I've got to pay $3,500 for my house in 4 fucking months. Well, shit.
I was running to class today because Professor Cromwell had already been upset with me because I have a tendency to show up late to his class. I can't help it. His class just slips my mind. It's so forgettable. Well, I was running to his class, completely unaware of everything around me, hair flying, jacket unbuttoned, and I run into the lecture hall, and no one is there. This is when I realized that it is, in fact, Saturday, and to complete the farce, I forgot to put on my shoes. I ran all the way there, barefoot, in a wild craze, trying to make sure I'm on time for this class so this professor doesn't flunk me, only to arrive at the realization that it is, in fact, the weekend. I felt so ridiculous, I plopped down on the floor right there and started howling with laughter.
Jane, every single day I am berated, yelled at, spit on. You might be thinking, well, that's the military. They do that to make sure that when they give you a weapon, that you prioritize your country over yourself. Well, that doesn't make it any less dreadful. And I must be clear that it is not just the flag-waving drill sergeant, okay? It's my entire platoon. Well, except for Peter. He's been kind to me. He showed me this book he brought, 13 Ways to Look at a Blackbird. It's a beautiful book. It inspired me to write my own poem about a blackbird. Why haven't you written me? It has been months. I wake up every day and I go through hell, or I literally go through hell. It's winter here. I feel like my heart has frozen over. It's getting harder and harder to get up each day. I think I might have gone past the point of anger. Now I, like the earth, am in a cold fury. I heard that song again in the street today and I screamed. Maybe these beefheads are kidding me or something, but I screamed. I just had to. Let it out. Please, write me. It kills me to not know what's going on in your life. What joke made you laugh recently? What song made you cry? What movie made you upset because it had a lousy ending? Why have you left me here? To lie and get buried in the snow. Anything is better than this ghostly silence. I feel like I'm speaking into the wind, and it's cold and it bites my face. Please, write me.
Your words are the only thing that can thaw my heart. I can think of nothing else to say.
Dear Matthew, I am furious. As I was talking to Mother today, she asked what my plans are for the future. I simply told her that I wanted to be a writer. You won't believe what she said to me, Matthew. As I finished my sentence, she laughed in my face and said, "Rose, get your head out of the clouds. You will never be artists, let alone writers." Can you believe it? Of course, as she said this, I couldn't help the tears. Since when did it matter that I am a woman? She also said that I needed to focus more on becoming a better cook, since I will need to satisfy my husband one day. You know as well as I do, Matthew, that I am a horrible cook. I can't even make morning breakfast without the house filling with smoke. It is quite a travesty here, Matthew, and I simply cannot bear her opinions. I think I will not talk to her for a whole week if she continues. Eleanor is no help either, prancing around my room, mocking my poems. Sometimes I want to strike her. You're the only one that believes in me, who really understands. I can't wait till you come home to me and scare the little brat and show Mother that I dream life is possible. Forever all my love, and a bit of angst.
You, Ella. I am so angry with myself. I thought I was enough. I thought, it was only up from here, but how could I be so stupid, so vulnerable? Why did I care so much? Why can't I forgive myself like I forgave you so many fucking times? Was I really that horrible to be around constantly? Did you ever even really love me? Oh, is that just your plan? You just walk on in here and let my family, my entire family leave me and they go to Chicago while I stay here with you. Is that your plan? I stayed here for you and you broke me. You broke me down to where there was nothing left. You ripped my heart out. You spit on it and you turned your back away from it. How could you? See, I tried to listen to everything, even if I didn't want to hear it. And why couldn't you do the same? All you did was yell and punch and scratch and kick, and I had to sit there and take it. And you want to know why? It's because I loved you. I loved you so much that I gave up everything for you. Now I'm just absolutely disgusted with myself that I'm even writing you. But you know what? I'm going to forgive you, Ella. But I am never going to forgive myself. This is it. This is the last time I'll ever fucking write to you.
Dear Mayor Hanson, our strike did everything right. We provided food for those who needed it, we looked out for the people in the streets, and we did everything in our power to maintain the peace. Tell your goons to go home. If you think this is the last part our movement has up its sleeves, you've got another thing coming. The cops and the National Guard are completely out of control. We advocated for peace going into this thing, but if you think we're above fighting for what we believe in, you're dead wrong. Call us Reds all you want if you think it's going to help your case. At least over there, they're trying to build something new, something better. People in the movement are starting to wonder if change is possible without revolution. Well, I'm starting to wonder that too. If you have a good head on your shoulders and you want to keep it there, I suggest you show them that it is inevitable. Sincerely, one of 65,000 strong.
September 17th, 1918. Wish list. See the northern lights, chase the tornado, get married, but not until I'm 35, buy my own car, perhaps a Stutz Bearcat, dance in the rain with my best friend, see how much ice cream I can eat until I get sick, travel to Australia with Emily, swim in the ocean at night, save a life, done. Go to Amsterdam for the Tulip Festival, run across an entire state, sneak into a wedding with someone I love, go sailing, send a message in a bottle, say yes to everything for an entire day, kiss a stranger, go camping, buy a toaster, read an entire book in a hammock, have a picnic, bring Christmas presents to all of the people who live on my street, open my own hospital, be proud of everything I do.
Love everything. People, school, life. First, why do our teachers think we have time to do our schoolwork? We are in the middle of a war, a pandemic, and a political movement. I don't give a fig about how the romantics loved the color purple, or how women are supposed to be domestic and sweet. I can do anything a man can. More. I'd like to see a man go through the suffering of having and keeping a baby. Everyone gets on my nerves. I don't care for them. I don't want to be gentle and sweet. I'm quite tired of it. I'm smarter than every boy at Cornell. And we are still in the middle of this terrible flu. And there's still a lack of mask wearing. What an utter disregard for science. People don't encourage wearing masks because they think it's jolly to be masked up. And I couldn't care less about Jane Eyre. She's dull. There. I said it. She doesn't do anything and complains, and I couldn't get through the book. I don't care if she was strong for her time. She's weak now, and I despise weak people, intellectually, physically, and morally. I wish you were here. If there weren't enough people to fight in this war, then perhaps we shouldn't be in it. We don't have to fix everyone else's problems when we can barely work on our own. I'm angry enough I could have this war won by Tuesday. Perhaps let women make decisions, we wouldn't be in this mess. But alas, we women don't have brains. What a pity.
Dear Agatha, for your edification and amusement, pages from my diary when I was your age. May 8th, 1904. The boy who tends Grandma's garden brought me a rose today. It was the first rose I have ever received. It was pink and the petals smelled better than candy. I think I will call today Rose Day. I will make it my own special holiday. May 8th. Every year from now on, it will always be Rose Day. I hereby declare on this day, May 8th of the year 1904 marks the first official Rose Day holiday as proclaimed by I, Victoria Kilgore of 224 Richardson Avenue, Cold Spring, New York. Their diary, my very own holiday. May 9th, 1904. The rose was meant for my sister, Tilly, and it wasn't from the boy who tends Grandma's garden, but from that awful George Buck at school. Oh, don't think that I am sad, dear diary. Isn't it something that I thought that I would ever receive a rose? Oh, how silly of me. Of course, Tilly receives all the roses. She's so pretty. But she's a whole year younger than me, and I think if anyone should be receiving roses, it is I, the eldest, right, diary? Why wouldn't I? But besides, roses fall apart and die. Besides, again, who would ever want to receive a rose from George Buck? no girl worth her salt. I should still celebrate Rose Day, shouldn't I? It is my own holiday, after all. I think every Rose Day I should laugh at all the roses that I haven't received. It will be like Alice in Wonderland, like an unbirthday. That doesn't make any sense, does it, diary? May 10th, 1904. I painted a rose today, diary. Grandmother said it was lovely. Father asked me if I had finished my homework. May 11th, 1904. I don't think I need to receive a rose to celebrate Rose Day. I can just go look at the roses in Grandma's garden myself. Better than waiting around for some silly boy to hand me one. Plus, like Father says, best not spend too much time around others. They might get me sick. May 12th, 1904. The garden is beautiful, but I wish I had someone to talk to, diary. Sometimes I think I am silly for sitting with myself here all alone.
November 1st, 1918. Father, all I feel is pain. The strain of being here is not only getting to me physically, but now mentally. The constant sounds of war are making me feel crazy. The food is shit and I can't sleep because my dreams have left. My body is awake, but my mind is lost. I'm tired of seeing these beds slowly become empty, and the constant fear of that makes me wonder, will mine soon be empty too? Or at least my mind. Someone just got discharged to go home for injury. That injury being from bashing his own head against the wall just to see if he could feel something. I'm scared that will be what becomes of me. I can't bring that man home. I don't want to frighten Mother, so I am writing to you only. These letters are the only thing giving me hope. So please, keep me in your thoughts. I look forward to hearing back from you. Stay. That's where I am trying.
Peter's letter ends here. He was lost right before the armistice.
Americans gave 110,000 lives to the war. We lost more personnel to the Spanish flu than to combat.
Dear Noah, how's it going, kiddo? Being good to your mother, I hope. Now, I know it's a little different with how your dad here, but guess what? In exactly 1 month, that is November 17th, of course, you and I, we're going to go see that new silent film, Ghost of Slumber Mountain. You know, the one with the dinosaurs? I miss the days your dad and I would go see those films. I'll even buy you some of those cherry mashes you love so much. Maybe buy you a Coke, but you can't tell your mother about all that sugar, all right? And I think you might have already seen it, but I did place a quarter in there for your mother's birthday. It's coming up quick, so you better buy her a present. Right back soon. I miss you, buddy.
Dad. Well, hey, at least we got a couple of months together, right? Probably wasn't the best idea. There, so then. What do you want? Newspaper called me a ringleader of anarchy, so that's pretty neat. Well, if I put out of the two of us, I would be the one they lock up. Or a revolution or something. God love America, a country so free, if you disagree, they throw you in prison. You know, it's weird to feel thankful from the inside of a prison cell. I'm really glad that at least I got to get out there and do that stuff with you. Still, it's the happiest you've ever been. I got 5 years in here. If I was serving a life sentence, it would be worth it to get out there and stick it to them that one last time. Maybe understanding of myself. I can't believe we shut down the whole city for 6 days and we didn't even get the raise we wanted. Sometimes it all feels pointless, like we're trying to knock over a mountain by throwing bricks at it or something. As long as I'm in here and you're out there, stick with it for me, okay? Run the next one out really good. Take your time, too. I want to spec with you. I just got to get out of here and get a job first.
Why fight for freedom when we don't have it at home? All men are created equal, but where do women fit into that equation? Fight, raise hell. Women want the vote as well. There is not liberty and justice for all if women don't have the vote. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, make it more perfect. Let women vote. Picket at the White House, silent sentinels. Look up train times, need to convince other states. Have lunch with Steve. Art history homework, English literature homework, drink water. Did you eat lunch today, Caroline?
December 24th, 1918. Oh, to be home for Christmas. There's something about waking up on Christmas morning. Something in your heart that can't be felt on any other day, even the most joyful of them all. Grandma and Grandpa always made Christmas so special for me and Emily, even though they didn't have 2 pennies to give. The other day, I was lying in bed thinking about the last Christmas we spent with Grandpa before he passed. I was 10, and Emily was 13. I know it doesn't sound right that at the age of 10, I was setting out cookies and milk for a large man wearing a red suit in hopes he would gracefully glide down my chimney, but I did. Oh my goodness, that man meant everything to me. Graham and I set out to the grocer's to get ingredients for our favorite Christmas apple pie. And when we were out, Grandpa and Emily also set out. But it wasn't for pie supplies. That night, I laid on my bed, eager as ever, with my toes curled up one underneath the other, and my favorite Christmas book out on my dresser, A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. As I begin to doze off, I hear thuds through my door. I run probably as fast as I ever have in my entire life, and the next thing I know, there he is. Santa in my grandparents' living room. Oh, I couldn't believe it was so. Naturally, I ran to Santa in hopes that he had brought the gifts I asked for this year. There was a major turn of events, and the only thing I did see was my sister Emily wearing a Santa suit, pulling the beard down, whispering, "Grandpa promised me that this year I could break the news." Oh, have I never despised my sister like I did that day. I spent my entire Christmas not saying a word, not a word, to my entire family. Those traitors. They could have just waited till December 26th to let me know. I wish you could have seen Emily's face. She had the biggest smile I've ever seen her wear. To see Emily smile like that right now, I would give the world.
Tuesday, January 1st, 1919. What a night. And all the coworkers came over with some moonshine, and we drank like there was no tomorrow. Happy New Year's! I'm still a bit hungover. I definitely drank way too much. But Mark, on the other hand, the current president of the mill, threw up all over my porch last night, and he promised to clean it up this morning, but he just left. You know, I don't get paid enough for that shit. So on Thursday, when we go back into work, I'm marching right up to him and I'm asking for a raise. No, I finally feel like things are getting better for me in this shitty world. But thank God for my brothers at work. You know, I don't know what I would do without them. I just hope that this year is better than last year. 'Cause, damn, that was a rough one. But here's to the future and to my new family. This is the best day of my life. Billy.
Sincerely, Tucker.
Yours, Meg.
Your much better looking brother, Andy.
Votes for women. Caroline.
Your son, Peter.
Your loving Rose.
Your forgotten daughter, Victoria.